think that there are multiple different conversations that comes when it comes to future work trends.
One thing that I always find really interesting is how many people kind of all agree that this is the time for Africa to shine and there is a lot happening out there, but no one has really taken the step to do anything. So it's
very this question where you're applying for the job, they say you don't have any experience, but you need experience to have experience.
With all the measures of caution back to normal in order to keep our society functioning.
Hello all. Thank you for attending this great experiment, and thanks for having me. It is an honor to be a keynote speaker for the first summit where the audience does not have to wear pants.
I want to reframe artificial intelligence, reframe AI as a potential remover of fear and not the cause. I'm sure this is something that we hear a lot in our various businesses and our conversations, that AI is going to be this global catastrophic risk and end us all, especially if you're fans of sci-fi.
So the blockchain and cryptocurrencies represent a whole new different world. It's like a different universe in which we get to write the rules.
So in this particular photo, we did a documentary about what quarantine looks like in Hangzhou, China, when COVID first hit. And we were able to play that experience with a group of our colleagues and peers, watch it and discuss it together inside of VR.
AI and quantum computing and brain-computer interfacing and the future of computing, it's all based on mastery of matter at the nano scale.
For the first time for this country, I see say young people come together, do something. Nobody talk about the kind church where they go, the kind God where they pray to, the tribe where you come from, the language where they speak, the clique where you did, the economic class where you did. I just did for everything just they happen like clockwork.
So you have a lot of young people who are getting into positions where they can influence more things happening for us in the tech ecosystem, and I think that is great.
Yeah. Somebody passe $1000 par mois. Qui va combien de jeunes qui arrivent là? Ou bien on peut parler. Pour l'autre bagarre, écoutez maman en Haïti. Pour ouvrir une compagnie SA, faut ouvrir un compte en banque dans BLC avec 100 000 gouttes sous lui. L'on fin ouvrir compagnie ça, ou aller dans BLC, il faut rouvrir l'autre compte encore. Ça crée avec 100 000 gouttes là.
You know that women make up half of the world's working age population, but right now are generating about 37% of GDP.
To me, it's really easy. And if you think about the technologies today that can even examine patients remotely, where you have devices like this, the Med one, for example, which can do a number of physical examinations remotely.
I say to a lot of entrepreneurs that you have to treat every situation as though it is an investor meeting, as though it is something that's significant that can support you with your business.
The world's first and largest digital accelerator. We have been running digital accelerators for the past 6 years, so we're so excited again to bring you this program virtually so you can still engage with this content.
But this world, as big as it is, one person can be the tipping scale to really create a domino effect that no one ever seen coming. I would like to remind people, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to judge you and tell you you're too naive.
Well, hello. Hope all is well. I know we're all experiencing heat waves and just crazy World Cup season. It's really a phenomenal time to be a human being in this world, despite all the negative headlines. I hope that this reaches you in great spirits. I hope that you're coming in with high energy and positivity. My name is Christine and Tim. I am the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem, and I'm so excited to be your conversational host on this amazing, pertinent topic for entrepreneurs. Now, I am a global speaker, 3-time founder, and I have been on a mission to accelerate entrepreneurs and prepare them for the digital age. Now, as we continue this conversation, we have been primarily focused on the Startup AI Ready Bootcamp for several reasons. One, many entrepreneurs are feeling crazy FOMO right now. AI is trending. Everyone's talking about the latest tool, the latest trend, the latest way to optimize artificial intelligence. You're going to be wiped out if you don't use AI. There's so much FOMO and fear mongering around this topic. This bootcamp is meant to be a 3-day founder growth intensive to help you build, sell, and scale in the AI economy, to not only position you to leverage the technology well so that we can achieve success and growth with your business, but at the highest level to push you to think differently and to lead by example, to find purpose and integrity in the mission that you want to bring to market and really find purpose again in the work that you do. All right. And so with that said, the past 3 days have already been amazing. We kicked off the conversation with really grounding us in understanding how AI has been adopted, not only at the enterprise level, but startups. Startups are still struggling to really gain market share, even though AI has been an amazing equalizer, democratizing access to information, resources, and perspective, and really just in any type of information at the tip of your fingertips. We are still seeing the same failure rates among startups within the past couple of years, despite this technology kicking off. And I shared with you guys our rubric for resilience and to remain relevant is leveraging AI to do 3 fundamental things in your business to really take back time so you can build AI capacity where you become more productive, build operational systems that work to help your business to scale efficiently. Number 2, we went over yesterday, which is traction, to how to really simplify your business model so you could generate revenue and scale at a phenomenal rate that makes sense for your business and at the pace that you want to go by simplifying at ease. So because a lot of entrepreneurs are dealing with burnout, are not able to really scale effectively, this is the simplest framework to really get you onto the market by thinking about one product offer, one target audience, and one conversion funnel to be able to get that audience on board. And then last but not least, which is what we're going to talk about today, is trust. We all know trust is broken. The market has completely shifted over the past couple of years. People are more skeptical, and as they should be. And how do you maintain position market leadership? How do you build relationships, credibility, and revenue in this AI economy? Today is for you to go over that, okay? And so as stated before, we covered time, how to, audit your tech stack. We covered traction, how to really simplify your business model with the power of one growth framework. Like I said, it was one product, one audience, one conversion process to scale. Today, we're gonna dive into trust, okay? Because the reality is many of you have felt this as AI become more common, trust becomes more valuable. Being human, having more errors. To be honest with you, I think, just seeing people just be imperfect is now more important to me because I realize perfection was never the end goal. Improvement, empowerment, acceleration are all great byproducts, but perfection was never the goal, right? And so in this session, you want to learn how to design a customer journey that turns visibility, right? So you can stand out from this mayhem of content that's taken over the internet and build credibility that leads to actual sustainable revenue for your business. And the Trust Bridge framework that I want to share with you today is not only a framework that I've been using for my personal brand, that I've leveraged from all of my businesses in my portfolio. It's a model that I teach my clients at scale, and it's a model that I want to bring to you before we adopt any technology, because as you can see, before we apply any technology framework, we always look at what is the actual protocols and processes that we're trying to elevate. Because a lot of times people just throw technology at the problem and realize that they're still not getting results because you did not evaluate the problem or the challenge that you had in the first place. And the challenge that we have here is trust. So for example, We have a broken system where trust is not at all-time low. And what are people doing? No offense to those who are doing it. People are creating AI bots. People are creating AI personas. People are creating more disconnected experiences with their customers, with their stakeholders, with their clients, with their partners, with their communities. And they wonder why no one trusts anything. If you are automating everything, if you are creating these avatars and all these inhuman experiences for your audience, guess what? You are not going to gain traction and scale and credibility because no one trusts what they see when it comes to your brand, when it comes to your offerings, when it comes to your value proposition. So with that said, I say all that to say throwing AI tools or automation tools is not the solution. First, we got to take a step back and look at what is the offer you want to offer. Remember yesterday, we talked about simplify your business model. Even if you're offering multiple products, what's the one key flagship product you want to be known for? So coming back to that, how do you create trust and connection with that product? Because right now, it's very hard to really build business revenue one-to-one. And the Trust Bridge event framework is looking at the world in this way. A lot of entrepreneurs have amazing experiences, amazing expertise, amazing services and products. But what they do is they package a product and go straight to market. And if you feel that there's been a disconnect where it's so hard to build consistent revenue, you're trying to figure out what am I missing, why I'm losing every single tool on the planet and I'm still not getting traction, the missing piece that you have not thought of is you have not created a bridge of a relationship between them seeing you and them hearing about your product. Where's the bridge to build a connection with your audience? And that is thought leadership. I am living by example. Right now, I am building thought leadership with you. I'm creating a bridge between my packaged product, which is our services at the global startup ecosystem, to this connection where I give you my frameworks, my perspective, how we do things for our clients. So that way you see, okay, she's not just selling something, she's engaging with me. She's seeing if we are the right fit. Are we aligned, right? That's what thought leadership does. So when you're doing webinars, masterclasses, live events, retreats, workshops, you're going to an event, you're speaking on stage, you're going on a podcast, all of that is a thought leadership exercises. You're creating bridges of connections between you and your clients, your stakeholders, and your audience. That is the missing piece. Now, here's the thing. A lot of entrepreneurs are taught to go out into the market to get opportunities and stages to give that thought leadership. Hey, pitch these podcast opportunities. Pitch this event to speak at their event. Pitch this founder to be able to partner with them and collaborate. You're looking for external opportunities to get that stage and that opportunity to give that thought leadership. I'm going to challenge you and create your own opportunities to create that thought leadership. And so in the Trust Bridge framework that we have, what we teach people is to try to in a 30-day cycle, go live at least once a week for at least 20 minutes and give back to your community. So if you are selling, for example, a service to help people build websites, well, go live 4 times a month, once a week, and share with people all the best website designs they should think of if they're confused on how to get started. Another week could be like, hey, this is the 5 things I wish I knew before launching a website. And then you talk about your services. Another week you talk about, hey, here are women who launched their websites while they were on a maternity leave. Another one could be, hey, here are the fundamental tools you need before you launch a website. All of it is all about building thought leadership, giving people a way to not only interact with your brand, but interact with your frameworks, interact with your thought process, interact with you and your entity as a person. Because right now, people are no longer making buying decisions simply based that you have a product at a lesser price point, maybe at a more packaged deal. People don't care about that anymore. They want to have a relationship with the product. And so that is the basic secret. So in the GSC Academy workshop that we have coming up, we actually walk you through our templates to make not only those live sessions relevant, practical, inspiring, and captivating, but also practically speak how you have a simplified call to action to now invite those live audiences to be customers, to be stakeholders, to be partners, similar to what we're doing right here in this exercise for this GSC AI Startup Bootcamp. Okay. And so with that said, for those of you who have been there and like, hey, I feel like it's really difficult onboarding customers, and this is another thing that we see, in that the churn rate is at an all-time high, where you're losing customers faster than you're acquiring them. That churn rate will shift fundamentally when you have a trust bridge event framework, because this framework is not just to acquire new customers, it's also to engage your current client network. What happens is now you've turned new people into clients. You turn those clients into community members, because when you're constantly having a calendar schedule to engage people with perspective and thoughts, not only around your brand and your product, but also your mission, your vision, and what you want to put out there to the world, you're creating community buy-in. Okay. And so this works on both sides. We've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs put this business model into practice, and they've seen 10x returns in terms of people's ability to increase their lifetime value of a customer. Do you know what that means? So let's say someone comes in to buy your product for $27, and because you have other products in your portfolio, but because they love engaging with you, you have these thought leadership events, now they invest in another product and another product. So they keep increasing lifetime value in your ecosystem because they're engaging with you and renewing their faith in the work and the mission that you serve every single time you go live and engage. Now, for those of you who say like, well, I want to be passive, I don't want to live that life, because I know all the gurus come online and tell you you can make money while you sleep. You can always make money while you sleep if you have an automated system. However, what's going to drive revenue and drive it sustainably is still being able to engage with people human to human. This, what I'm doing right now, cannot be faked, right? It cannot be replicated in the AI world. So now, with that said, now that I share with you the framework to really optimize your workflow, optimize your marketing flow, optimize your sales process, optimize your onboarding size with this Trust Bridge event framework to really go live once a week, to engage people with thought leadership around your brand, so that way their introduction to your brand and your products and services is one with authenticity and credibility. Now, where do we adopt AI? So this is where I tend to tell my entrepreneurs is, okay, there are a number of tools to help you think of great topics to talk about. Okay, there are a great number of questions, like go through your past lives. Let's say you've been doing this challenge where you go live once a week for 30 days. Input all the comments, all the feedback from those live events, and what are people saying. Transcribe the recordings and turn that into thought leadership pieces, blogs, articles. This is where that live experience not only creates multiple frame of content for you to email it as a newsletter, publish it as a Substack post, share it as a post on LinkedIn, do video clips as a marketing tool to attract more audiences, but also build relationship, and the call to action is always going to be consistent. And the best thing that you could do with this is that you create top of mind. So you're using an artificial intelligence tool like ChatGPT, Claude, or any other alternative to help you optimize that process, optimize the content, optimize the feedback and the information and the data that you're getting from going live several different times. All right. And so with that said, when you do this process over and over again, what happens is that you are able to now create a bridge between you as an entrepreneur and CEO trying to disrupt an industry, disrupt a market, disrupt, a way of doing business with your solution. Instead of just going straight to offering the product to the market, that missing piece that's caused real apprehension with building a consumer base, you have now broken it with that thought leadership exercise. I always tell my entrepreneurs, if you're about to launch a product tomorrow, I would say do a Trust Bridge event. Announce it with a Trust Bridge event. Engage people in a 90-day campaign around Trust Bridge event series. Like literally repeat this process over and over throughout the year, and you will thank me later, because it will literally transform not only your credibility internally, you will get better and better at your thought leadership and what you do, and really articulating and finding clarity and alignment with what you stand for. But now people could trust that, hey, this person is an expert. They know what they're offering in the market. I want to work with them. And you're pretty much killing two birds with one stone. All right. So with that said, where do we go from here? All right. I wanted to share with you guys in summary, we just navigated a 3-day AI Ready Bootcamp, very, very high level. Okay, less than an hour per day, we were able to cover and discuss all the different ways to look at artificial intelligence to really up your level of leadership in the market as an entrepreneur. We talked about this fundamental framework in the very beginning that I'm going to go back to right now, that when you're trying to create relevancy and resilience in an AI-driven economy, despite the low percentage rates of success in the economy, you are trying to leverage AI to optimize your time, to scale traction, and rebuild trust at scale. And I share with you different frameworks and structures every single day of this week in order to optimize your business and position it for not only growth, but market leadership. You want to become a market leader in your industry by leveraging AI to build capacity, build awareness, but also scale effectively. So where do we go from here? Now that you have these frameworks, I'm sure you're ready to implement it, right? And I'm going to share you that right now. The best next step that I would say is really look at your business, right? You have an entire weekend to literally go through the replays and just audit your entire business. How am I maximizing time? How am I looking at the right KPIs to build traction? How am I building trust? If I have not done anything to build trust in the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, past couple of years with my business, that I feel like my business is stuck, how do I reset, relaunch, engagement around my brand, around my business? This is a time to set a date, set a time, and go out there and build that Trust Bridge event framework and put it into place so that we can see market leadership start to compound when it comes to your business product. If you need help to implement that and execute that, I'm really excited to say that we are launching the AI Ready Workshop, which is about 3 hours for us to sit here to review your tech stack, optimize your business model, and help you create a live sales calendar where you're able to build trust in the market by going live once a week, 20 minutes each time, to be able to build that trust in the market, to scale your community, scale your client base, and most importantly, scale your relationship with stakeholders in the ecosystem, whether it be investors, partners, funders, suppliers. You're going to be able to build credibility at multiple levels by doing that. Now, with that said, I look forward to supporting you in this endeavor. Of course, we are sending the link in the comments for those of you on LinkedIn. I hear you. We'll share the link in the comments there as well for you to be able to access this workshop. It's only a small group of individuals because we're going to be working on Google Docs, so you'll be able to look at your individual experience, your business model, to be able to help customize the solution for you. But the most important takeaway I want you to take from this, and for all my entrepreneurs out there, I know this is probably the easiest time to launch a company, but by far it's also the hardest time to stay relevant. It's the hardest time to stay on purpose. It's the hardest time to make sound decisions that could scale and sustain you for years and decades to come. What I want to conclude with here is to remind you to always go back to the very beginning. Why did you want to solve this problem in the market? Why did you set out to be an entrepreneur? Why did you set out to make a different, bold path for you and your constituents with your business model, with your product, with your service? Go back to that why. Because I trust that, in this experience, in this economy where everyone's leveraging AI to create less human experiences, those of you who decide to show up as your authentic self, to show up as who you are and what you do and serve the audiences you want with credibility, with integrity, with purpose, you are not only going to sustain the long run race that is to come in this crazy entrepreneurial AI driven economy, but you're going to feel happy to know that you made the right positive decisions, not only for your business, but for you and your legacy. Because at the end of the day, AI is meant to be a tool to accelerate, to enable, to equalize opportunity. It's not meant to replace the human experience or replace the entrepreneur and the heart and the strength of you as an individual taking a product to market. So with that, I wish you the very best. Thank you so much for joining me for the GSC AI Ready Startup Bootcamp. We have envisioned this to be just a highlight, a reminder, right? An enforcer to get you back and try. If you've been feeling lost and you feel like you needed a reset, you needed a conversation to push you off the edge, I hope that this conversation served you well. I hope you are able to look at AI in a different lens, look at it not from a FOMO or a trending topic, but really as a long-term sustainability partner to to help you succeed with integrity and purpose in this day and age. And with that, I wish all of you the very best. My name is Christine and Tim, the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. I look forward to engaging you guys further on this journey of building a better world with purpose, integrity, and a mission. Thank you so much for such an amazing 3-day. I wish you all the very best. Till next time, bye.
But this world, as big as it is, but this world, as big as it is, one person can be the tip of scale to really create a domino effect that no one ever seen coming. I would like to remind people, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to judge you.